Hi, Leaving Certs. So today what I've decided to do is I will just run through um, 2017 question 1, section A, which is short questions. Okay, so again, there's 13 questions. We have to answer 10. But before I do that, just to remind you that if you go into Teams really quickly there, just give me a second there and we'll let this load. Pops over, it'll be great. Okay, we'll continue on. I'll tell you at the end. All right. And again, I'm going to write out the questions here on the page as we go through them. Okay, so question 1A, short questions, 2017. Okay, right. So the very first question there, A. Outline 2 advantages of LED car headlights over traditional car headlights. Okay, so anyone that has used LEDs, they would be a lot lighter, so they'd be lightweight. They're a lot smaller, so they're smaller and more compact. If you've actually tested LEDs or researched LEDs, you will find that there's actually quite a bit more light out of the LEDs than there is out of the actual filament bulbs that was actually in it already. So more light dissipated from the LEDs, and that's light emitting diode in case anyone doesn't know. And the last thing there is it uses very little electricity. Okay, so the LED uses or consumes very little electricity. Uses very little electricity. Okay, so that is part A done. Second question there is part B, and that says identify 2 metals commonly used to protect steel from corrosion. So let's say if I had maybe I wanted to sheet a shed at the side of my house, and I wanted to use maybe some sort of metal that I didn't want to rust. What could I use to make sure it didn't rust? So again, the very first thing I can think of there is I will be putting down galvanize. Okay, galvanize. Now again, galvanize is something that is used on tin. Okay, and basically it stops the tin from actually corroding and rusting over a long period of time. Also, if we're having a look at cars that maybe might be outside your front door, what you will also find is there's a lot of chrome on your cars, and the reason why chrome is used is because it does not rust. And again, chrome is an alloy that is mixed in with stainless steel to stop the stainless steel from rusting. Okay, so chrome, or you could say chromium, whichever you want. Okay, so that's 2 metals there. Part C. Outline 2 safety devices integrated into modern motor vehicles. Safety devices. Okay, name 2 safety devices. So again, we've got seat belts. We've got airbags. We have got assistive braking technology. Assistive braking technology. We have got reversing sensors. Okay, and all these different types of things. They all make it a lot safer on the road. And again, I might be missing out a couple of obvious ones. If there is any more, you can put them in there. Okay, great. Okay, part D. The cardboard eco helmet for cyclists, designed by Isis Schiffer, was awarded the 2016 International James Dyson Award. Outline two advantages of this design shown opposite. So again, if you don't think it's great, just try and come up with some sort of reasoning behind your answer. So outline two advantages of this crappy enough helmet that's here. Okay. So the very first thing is it's made out of cardboard. So one advantage would be it's light. Okay. Lightweight. And another thing you could say again, it's all advantages. So another thing you could say is cardboard is actually quite flexible, so it could suit different people with different shaped heads. Okay, so it's a flexible material which could be useful for different people using the same shaped or using, I suppose, the universal helmet. Okay, universal meaning, like one fits all thing. Okay, so that's that. And again, if you come up with anything better than that, I have no problem you not putting in my answers. Okay, so these are just to guide you if you can't think. Part E is give two reasons why stainless steel is suitable for the manufacture of surgical devices. So stainless steel, so again, we're talking about, corrosion resistant. It's a strong and durable material. And as Oscar said yesterday, it's not it's biocompatible. So basically, it doesn't have any problems or reactions with humans. So it's biocompatible. All right, good stuff. Explain two methods of quality control which may be carried out during manufacture. Okay, so quality control. So in materials testing, we actually had quality control. So you could use X-ray tests. You could use ultrasonic tests. Okay. You might also want to check the dimensions and suitability of the manufacture of your parts that you're making. These are all quality control things. So we want to make sure, the X-ray test is looking for any internal flaws in maybe the part that we're after making. The ultrasonic test, again, could be looking for different types of cracks or flaws in the part. Again, it doesn't have to be all non-destructive. We can use some destructive tests as well. We might want to use maybe the IZOD or the Sharpie test to test and see how hard the actual material is and is it hard enough for the job that it's doing. So let's say we're making pistons for an engine. Okay, so they have to be pretty hard. So again, we need to make sure that there's no flaws, that there's that it's strong enough to withstand any impact in the engine, and it also needs to be made for specific diameters. Okay, so again, need to check and see the dimensions and make sure that everything is up to scratch. Okay, so that's Izod and Sharpie. Grand. That's that question answered. Okay, we're going pretty well. We've answered them all so far. Now, G, this is your inventor's question. Okay, so discuss the contribution that any one of the following has made to technology. So again, this guy here, George Devil, never even heard of him myself. Okay, again, if you want to research him, you can. Thankfully, I know the other two, so we can go ahead and write those in. But I haven't researched this guy and I don't know what he does. So Marie Curie. Curie. Okay. She was a chemist who invented pasteurization. And it's going to tell me it's spelled wrong and to put in a Z now, probably. No, good. Marie Curie, pasteurization. The other fella, Douglas Clerk, was it? Dougald Clerk. He invented the two-stroke engine, guys. Okay, and again, from the notes that I asked you to take down yesterday and research, you should have both of these guys on your list. If they're not, will you please add them in? Okay. So that's that guy. Now let me see H. The next question. And H asks us, most golf clubs are manufactured with either steel or carbon fiber. Describe two benefits of using carbon fiber shafts over steel shafts. And again, it always comes back to your properties. It's lighter. Okay, so carbon fiber is a lighter material. Okay. It is corrosion resistant. And again, how many does it ask us to ask? Does it say to talk about? Two benefits. That's two. Again, if you wanted a third, you could say that maybe it's more comfortable to hold, or let me see. Most golf clubs are manufactured with either steel or carbon fiber. Two benefits of using carbon fiber. No, we'll leave it at that. Okay, I can't, off the top of my head there, guys, no, I can't think of anything else. Again, if you can, please add it in, right? So that's H. I. Wireless technology such as Wi-Fi and Bluetooth are widely used nowadays. Outline one advantage and one disadvantage of wireless technology. Well, advantage of wireless technology means that you don't need to plug in your phone at a certain access point. So, you've got free of movement with technology. Disadvantage. Disadvantage of wireless. Well, there's not that many disadvantages. I suppose one bad thing, about, let's say if we're in a bus in Dublin and you have access to wireless internet, what can happen there is someone can actually access some of your information due to the server being, let's say, local or just kind of open to everyone. So that might be a bad thing to do with Wi-Fi, wireless Wi-Fi. So certain Wi-Fi points can be unsecure and you may get hacked or leak information to a hacker. Okay, and again, it's not bulletproof, that answer there. If you wanted to put in something better than that, you can. But again, it's just off the top of my head what I can think of. All right. So J, and we're getting there, guys, and we've answered all of them so far. J, the rotor blades of a helicopter are subject to high speeds and variable weather conditions, which could lead to fatigue failure. Explain what fatigue failure is. Okay, now we're just after talking about creep. So yesterday we said creep was basically the deformation of a metal on a roof due to stresses acting on it by the incline of the actual roof itself. Okay, so the metal actually starts to creep or deform due to stresses on it. Fatigue failure is where a metal actually fails over a period of time due to on and off loading of cyclical stress, and it's caused by a small crack on the surface of your material. So we'll write that down. So metal fatigue. Fatigue. Okay. And what that is it's a failure of a metal due to. Now, I can remember this since the day I put it down for my Leaving Cert exam. Okay. So just try and remember this. It's a failure of a metal due to on or off loading or cyclical stress. Now, cyclical stress is essentially something that occurs over and over and over again. So you've got a lot of stresses acting on the blades of your aeroplane because they're constantly rotating around and getting caught in the wind. Okay, so that's cyclical stress. So due to on and off loading or cyclical stress over a long period of time. It starts off as a small, minute crack and over time results the failure of your aeroplane blade in this situation. Again, I won't say in this situation, so just in your aeroplane blade. Done. So metal fatigue, it's a failure of a metal due to on and off loading or cyclical stress. So cyclical stress is something that's under constant stress and strain, and maybe even heat and other forces acting on it over a long period of time. Okay, it starts off as a small, minute crack, and over time, it results in the failure of your aeroplane blade, which is what you were asked in the question, if you can remember. So your rotary blades on your helicopter. Okay, so a helicopter, not an aeroplane. Helicopter. Okay. Okay then. And we're nearly there. 3 more. Explain the difference between a gap gauge and a plug gauge. Now again, this might be a question you don't know. If you don't know, skip it. We've only got 3 left. We've answered the rest of them, so technically we've all of them done. So we've got 10 done now already. But we'll see, can we answer a couple more. So explain the difference between a gap gauge and a plug gauge. Okay, we'll leave that one out. Alright, we'll pretend like we couldn't answer it. Next question. Describe the principle of operation of a double acting hydraulic ram. Now again, I know what that is, but I'm pretty sure no one else does. Okay? And the reason being is that we haven't covered hydraulic rams. Alright? So what we'll do is we'll again leave that question out. If you want to look up what a hydraulic ram is, go for it. Okay? But I won't be covering it with you. The last question there is question M, and that states the first flight around the world without using fossil fuels was completed in 2016 by the Solar Impulse 2. Describe briefly how this could be achieved. So again, it says solar, so that means it was using solar panels. So solar panels create electricity to power batteries for your aeroplane. Okay, and again, you can bring in some of your knowledge from the hybrid vehicles. You could say that a generator is powered by the blade, which also charges your batteries for your machine. Again, this bit here, not necessary to put in, but again, it's up to you. So solar panels create electricity to power the batteries for your aeroplane. Okay, so that would be suffice if you wanted. But you can also put in the generator is powered by the blades. So when your blade spins, essentially you're taking that kinetic energy, turning it into electrical energy, powering your batteries, which is basically conserving energy for the long haul to use it to power your blade again. Okay, so that's what we're doing there, guys. That's how we're conserving energy. So that is technically not K, that is M. Okay, and that's all the answers to the questions. Okay, then it's on to section B, and we don't have B done, so that's all about robotics. And our section B there would be hybrid vehicles. Okay, so again, if I just shoot over here really quickly into Teams, into 6th year engineering, and into files, what I want to show you is that 2018, if this loads now fairly lively, 2018 short questions, the answers to the 2018 are there if you need them, and the inventor's worksheet is also there for you to actually fill out and make sure that you know for the exam. Okay, so those two things are there for you, and again, you know where to find this video because you're watching it right now. So what I want you to do for the rest of the class is focus on your project, guys. Okay, we haven't talked about it much this week. Again, I am wary we're going back into the classroom again on Tuesday. So I want us to be prepared. I don't want us to come in the door and go, oh God, I'm after forgetting my stuff again. I forgot my drawings at home. Can't really do much on SolidWorks now, sir. So what will I do? Make sure everything is organized. You have everything in which you're ready to go for Tuesday. Okay, or even Monday if you want, and come down to the room and drop it in and leave it there. Okay, I want this to go very well this week. Now, next week, we're going to go full bore with this project, see how we get on, and hopefully, come the end of the week, we'll see a lot of progress done on the project. Okay, so guys, listen, focus on the portfolio. Make sure you get all your sketches and everything up to date, and make sure you have everything with you coming in next Monday or latest Tuesday. And I'll see you then. Okay. Bye, guys.